Okay, so after a rough week, we're back on track. And I'm glad of it. I didn't know where we were going, but we are back on track. Let's talk about this. Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video.
And I'm like, come on through, Cookie. I'm going up on my soapbox. That's basically it. Let's talk about drag and all its forms. What,
This is my review for RuPaul's Drag Race. This is season 10 and this is episode 3. As I said, last week it was a rough week. I don't know what was going on, but I made some comments and I put it down there in the comment section for you all to tell me, was it me that was actually missing something, or was there some type of a disconnect going on as far as the show went? And the response that I got, that it wasn't just me, that there was some disconnect taking place. And you guys actually felt it. So I was kind of glad. In a way, I was glad, you know what I mean? Not the fact that there was a disconnect, but glad that it wasn't just me that was actually noticing. So, anyway, we are back on track. Let me just start off with some things that just stuck out to me first of all. The Vixen, I've already told you all, I don't care for the Vixen. She's not my kind of girl. She's not my kind of girl. She is mean. She is mean-spirited. She really likes herself. She likes herself a lot. And I don't know what that's all about. I don't know what that's all about. But yeah, she really likes herself. So it's like, okay, Vixen girl, whatever. Whatever you say, honey. So I'm just kind of watching and I'm like, this old mean shit starting, I'm from Chicago thing. I can't really get into it. So I'm just kind of just watching her. And there's some things went on with her in this episode, and we'll actually talk about, right is right and wrong is wrong. So we'll talk about that. So no matter what my personal feelings are about the Vixen, right is right and wrong is wrong. And I will always go with what is right, even if I don't really care for the bitch. Okay, so we're going to talk about it a little bit later. But anyway, okay, so we had a mini challenge this time, and it was actually basically to sell Rue's actual specialized candy bars. And the three that actually did the best were Blair Sinclair, Monique Hart, and Monet Exchange. So in return for actually winning the maxi challenge or mini challenge, these three ended up being the 3 team leaders. Now, this is where it gets sticky. Are you in a good spot when you become a team leader, or are you not in a good spot when you become a team leader? And as we've seen in the past, sometimes being a team leader is really not, I don't know if you really want to do it. You know what I mean? It's nice to be noticed, but not all the time. So, anyway, we have the Maxi Challenge is a commercial, and it's basically for a new dating app creation. And it was separated up, and one was going to be End of Days, and that was Blair's team. Blair actually chose Miss Cracker, Eureka, and the Vixen, okay, to be on her team. The next one was called Fibster. That was Monique's team, and it was Monique, Dusty, Cameron, and Mayhem. The third team was Madame Butterface, and it was Monet's team. And so we had Monet, Asia, Aquaria, and Yahuwah. I don't know why I always screw that child's name up. Or Yahuwah. I'm thinking that's her name. It was her. Okay. Um, Flat out, Eureka was the standout on Blair's team. The Vixen for me was a no go. Flat out, she was a no go. Um, Cameron on Monique's team was a no go. Mayhem was a no go. They didn't do well as far as I was concerned. On Monet's team, Asia was a standout. She did well. And Yahuwah was horrible. Okay. During getting ready for the challenge and all of that, Yahuwah was bitchy and she was not listening to people. They were doing the whole thing where they had to come and make themselves ugly. And I understand, I do actually understand where it's a rough thing to tell somebody, hey, go and be ugly. Don't drag queen want to be ugly. That is like a conscious thing that you have to do. Go over there and make yourself ugly. Ain't nobody trying to do that. That's just ridiculous. And so I understand the challenge in it. But she was still all painted up. She had these perfect eyebrows, and she just didn't listen. And she was trying to argue with them, and all. I was like, girl, I can't with her. I can't. I wasn't feeling her. Mayhem was too quiet. She just accepted whatever they said. And in the end, it didn't work to her favor because she didn't get the part she wanted. So she didn't get to perform the way that she would have performed had she been happy with what she was appointed because she was too quiet. She needs to speak up. Girl, you're here now. Say what you have to say. Monique was team leader and was micromanaging like crazy. And it was really at a point, it was just too much. It was too much. She was over there. She was taking over on what it was that Michelle and them were doing. They weren't saying anything. And she was like over talking to her. I said, girl, that's going to bite you in your ass. You know, it's nice to take charge, but stay in your lane, mama. Stay in your lane. And she really wasn't. She was all over the place. I said, girl, you directing, producing, buying lunch, cooking, and everything else, ain't you, bitch? A mess. The Vixen was just fussing. Fuss. And I was just, girl, you jealous and you're a hater. She got a lot of jealousy inside of her and she's just a hater. I just can't. Now, here's the part where I have to stick up for Vixen. Aquaria was throwing shade. Just throwing shade. Her and the Vixen don't get along. Yes, the Vixen is a troublemaker. Yes, the Vixen implemented herself into the beef between Cracker and Aquaria. So Aquaria's feeling some kind of way about that. But then she decided she's going to come for the Vixen. Well, listen here. Hattie Queen rules. If you come for a bitch, you have to be ready for her when you come for her. She came for the Vixen, but she wasn't ready. She wasn't ready. Baby, the Vixen read her ass down to the ground. Do you hear me? She got up there talking about, well, girl, I don't understand about how your best drag is drag that you didn't bring from home. Your best drag was a borrowed wig. How does that work? I said, oh. And the next thing I know, baby, the Vixen got her ass together. And then we had this whole little thing go on where she decided to sit up and cry. And most of this took place on Untucked. We got to see it really play out on Untucked. Baby, she got to crying and carrying on, and nobody was here for it. The Vixen was like, really, is this what you do? You come for me, and then I come for you back, and now you're crying, bitch. You're trying to build a narrative that I'm an angry black woman, bitch. Don't nobody care. It is what it is. You can build your narrative, bitch, but you come for me, bitch, and I'm going to attack you. I already told you that, and it is what it is. And I started seeing the girls start to do the thing that people do. And it happens a lot of time on YouTube. Somebody comes for you, honey, if you're a fierce reader, then when you lash out, baby, and you're lighting their ass up, people jump in and say, well, that's too much. You didn't have to go that far. Sure, I did. I did because I can. And if you keep on messing with me, I'm going to go deeper in you, honey. And I'm not going to come out until I get ready. And this is what they were doing to the vixen. And I was like, no, I don't like this child. But I don't like that even more. So it really irritated me. And I was like, mm-mm. She called it all out for exactly what it was. She told her, honey, you shut up all that goddamn crying. I ain't nobody care. You started with me, girl. I'm going to finish you. And they were giving, well, girl, you know, she's not really. Child, shut up. Shut up. Because it was okay when the bitch came for me. Now it's not okay because I'm tagging her ass, honey. Y'all shut up, honey. And the vixen was not backing down from it. Now, I'll have to say, bitch, I was here for you for that. But keep in mind, bitch, you are a troublemaker. You're a troublemaker. Now, I ain't down for no girl starting no trouble. But, bitch, I'm definitely down for the girl who reads fiercely and people try to make her cower down. I don't like that. People do it to me all the time. I do not like it at all. At all, because it does build a narrative. Like you're angry and you're out of control. And then people just start to play on that. And I was glad she stuck up for herself. She let their asses have it. Flat out. She's like, I ain't buying it. I ain't going for that bullshit. I'm going to get that bitch. I was like, all right, honey, get her, honey. Anyway, there was a segment in there where Dusty actually shared information about her estrangement from her family. And they were real deep. They're like devout Christians and everything, and they try to send her to camp and all that kind of stuff. So she shared that kind of stuff. So we got to actually really see her. It was sad. It was sad. It's terrible to think that in this day and age, these kids are actually going through. I'm 46 years old, and I thought we were past that mess when I was a kid. I didn't have to do all that. I was sent to counseling a few times, and I like how you can't counsel my gay away, honey. I wasn't going for it. I thought the counselors were all idiots, honey. And it's a good thing I did because look what happened, honey. We would have missed all this, honey. Every bit of it, honey, had I listened to those stupid counselors, honey, I wasn't listening to that mess. I was like, child, what time is lunch, honey? Anyway, so that was interesting to see. Now, we had Nico, let me say his name. I don't think I want to say it wrong. Tatarello. He's a super fan. He was a guest judge, and Courtney Love was a guest judge. Honey, what did Courtney have, honey? Give me two. Bitch was high as a fur coat. Allegedly, honey. Miss Courtney wasn't all there, honey. I said, what's going on, girl? What you Kevin, bitch? She looked like she had been powdering her nose since 4 o'clock yesterday, honey. I said, girl, she was really... You know she gives me space with that tease, honey. Now, this to date has been like one of my favorites. The runway, baby, was feathers. As soon as Rue said it, I said, bitch, Rue, you playing games with me. Y'all know I love a feather. Feathers, rhinestones. Come on. Come on through. Baby, these girls pulled some things out of their closets, honey, with feathers that was no joke. Eureka looked so good. She had like black Coke feathers all over, all covered, and it was given very evil queen. And the fact that she's a big girl, it just brought the whole look really to life. It was so good and so well done, and it was black, and I mean those feathers were black and crisp. Like if you popped it, it would just pop back. It was fabulous. It was fabulous. I loved it. I loved it. I enjoyed it. Mayhem came out with a gown, and it was like fuchsia and black. Fierce. It was fierce. It was done so well that if you have seen her from a distance, you would have thought it was like ruffles, but it was literally completely covered in feathers. It was gorgeous. It was gorgeous. I loved it. Cameron, though, she did a version of an Evil Queen as well. Shut it down. Shut it down. It was absolutely a dress that was worthy of Angelina wearing as Maleficent. Because she even had like a modified Maleficent headpiece. Sickening. Shut the runway down. I was like, oh well, honey, everybody can go home now. That was so bad. And then we had Monique. I didn't really like her dress, but her dress was coupled with a white and gold cape. The cape was fierce. The way it was these metallic gold feathers, and the way the cape laid, and it actually had volume, and it wasn't all stiff. It was literally fluid to it. It was that cape was everything. Yahuwah, I don't know, her dress was really pretty. It was glammed out. And she tried to explain something. That shit didn't work. Why nobody buying that? They was like, girl, it's a gown. It's okay. Girl, the little stuff you threw in her trying to make a costume. Girl, no, we ain't buying that. Bitch, go sit down. Go sit down, Miss Yahoo, honey. Aquaria. I didn't like Aquaria's little look. I thought it just looked cheap. It looked cheap to me. I couldn't get with it. Couldn't get with it. Asia actually came out as Tweety Bird. It was like a cape. It was like a cape, and it had the eyes. And when she stands still and cross her hands, it literally looked like you were looking at a huge Tweety Bird. It was, and the color was like it was that yellow. It was really, really pretty. And the judges actually loved it. They did. They actually loved it. There was a situation where Carson and Courtney disagreed with Michelle about Mayhem. Michelle lived for Mayhem, and Carson and Courtney did not like what Mayhem had on. They thought that she could have did more. I was like, child, the two of them could both shut up. That dress was bad, honey. Get on out of here. I was with Michelle this time. I said, go ahead, Michelle, bitch. I'm with you, bitch. All in all, Asia won the challenge with her Tweety Bird situation. The bottoms were Yahuwah and Mayhem. They had to lip sync for their life. It was a celebrity. The song was Celebrity Skin by Hole, so it's kind of like a punk rock type of song. I'm like, how is this going to work? Because they have gowns on. Well, Yahuwah just came out of hers. That, for me, it lost points. Because you just took your clothes off. It wasn't a tearaway. It wasn't a moment. It was just a bitch that just took her clothes off. You took your clothes off so you could perform. That didn't get you any points with me during this challenge. It didn't get you any points with me because Mayhem is standing there in a complete gown and having to perform this punk rock song. So, Yahuwah, you basically lost a point for me by literally just taking your dress off. That I didn't see that as smart planning. I seen that as lazy and getting around what's really going on here. So I didn't care for that. But they did it, and it was kind of Mayhem could have lost. She could have lost. Once the lip sync got started, she could have easily lost. But toward the end, that bitch said, I am not leaving, honey. She got the tearing pieces of her dress off. She literally started tearing. I said, oh, bitch, wait a minute. Don't tear up no feather gown, bitch. She's tearing pieces off. She tore the collar off. I was like, okay, it worked. It worked. She stayed. Yahuwah had to sashay away. And Mayhem told Ru, I'm not leaving. I worked, and it took too long for me to get here. I am not leaving, bitch. I was like, all right, I done told y'all I'm Team Mayhem, honey. I am. So that's it. That's what went down this week on episode 3. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave me some comments and we will talk about what's going on here. I'm enjoying myself again. I'm glad we're back on track. All right, you guys, I'll catch you later. Toodles.